Imagine an alien signal traveling through space at the speed of light. A radio telescope picks up the signal. Astronomers check until they're absolutely sure it's the real thing. That morning, people get to work, turn on their computers, click onto our newest mass medium, the internet. And then comes the news. Astronomers have made a mind-boggling discovery.
We are not alone in the universe.
There will be a tremendous number of people trying to figure out all the information that we can from that signal. One of the big questions is, should we respond?
Any civilization we contact will be much more advanced than we are. There are those who feel it will cause a planet-wide inferiority complex.
There will be a percentage of people who will become distraught. These people might need a fair amount of support and help to get through the situation.
And it could be important because we get information from advanced civilizations. Clearly, that would affect us. I mean, we might short-circuit, 100,000 years of human history and jump into the future thanks to the beneficence of these aliens who want to tell us stuff. I mean, that could happen.
The differences between alien intelligence and humans is going to be vast. So vast that I think it fundamentally will change everything.
Day and night, around the world, a determined band of scientists listens to the sky. In hope, they seek signals from other worlds, evidence of mysterious alien civilizations. They call their ambitious quest SETI, shorthand for the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. The novel Contact by the celebrated astronomer Carl Sagan is a fictional account of how the world would respond to the first confirmed message from outer space. Contact moved SETI from relative obscurity to front-page news. Sagan based the book's central character, in part, on the real-life Dr. Jill Tarter. She's a principal investigator at the SETI Institute in Mountain View, California. Tarter believes the search for extraterrestrial intelligence satisfies an ancient yearning.
People really want to know, are we alone? And that question is not something that we woke up 2 months ago and started asking. Humans have asked that question at least as long as recorded history. But now, there's something very different about right now today. And that's that for the first time ever, we actually now have the technology to try and do something to answer this old question.
The question of alien life beyond Earth becomes urgent in the 19th century. Astronomer Percival Lowell is convinced that on the planet Mars, he has observed an elaborate system of artificially engineered canals. His accounts create a sensation.
These were interpreted by Lowell as made by intelligent beings to keep agriculture alive on a dying planet. So we have these civil or agricultural engineers on Mars trying to keep things going. These views became accepted by some people, scoffed at by others, but what the human reaction was in that case was to figure out how we ourselves could signal our presence to the Martians.
The means to make contact seemed to arrive with the discovery of electromagnetic radio waves. Nikola Tesla, an eccentric pioneer of electronics, built an enormous transmitter in Colorado and blasted radiostatic toward Mars.
It was 150 feet tall, and was powered by one of his powerful transformers. And when he turned this thing on, people's hair stood on end for miles around. It was spectacular. He sent messages expecting a response, and he thought he got responses.
Though convinced he was hearing Martian salutations in return, what Tesla really picked up were a natural phenomenon called whistlers. Strange waves produced by electricity in the atmosphere. In 1920, the great Guglielmo Marconi, inventor of the first successful radio, followed Tesla's example and pointed his own receiver at the red planet and heard absolutely nothing. 4 years later, when Mars was in particularly close proximity to Earth, the United States Navy silenced all its radio transmitters in the Pacific for 3 days. They were still hoping, in vain, to detect a cosmic hello from Mars. Over the next 25 years, as telescopes became more sophisticated and precise, the belief in Martian civilization all but disappeared. The canals, it seems, aren't massive artificial irrigation ditches after all, but arid Grand Canyons. But at the same time, astronomers were realizing the staggering enormity of the universe. How many trillions of stars there are, the potential for planets revolving around them, planets that just might support life. There were still those who believed that radio was the stepping stone to talking with the stars. Growing up in the 1930s on the Chicago South Shore, Frank Drake immersed himself in books that transported him to magical, faraway places.
When I was just a young boy, my parents told me there were other planets, and possibly like the Earth, and that fascinated me. You know, are there creatures there? I mean, to my mind, my little boy's mind, my first image was, oh yeah, it'll be humans, and exact duplicates all over the place. What's that like? And of course, I quickly learned that was not likely the case.
Surely the results of the detection of extraterrestrial signals are going to be one of the most exciting things that ever happened.
In 1960, when Frank Drake, fresh out of graduate school, began the search for ET intelligence, he named his experiment Project Ozma, after the Oz books of his youth. His boyhood dreams led him to the emerging field of radio astronomy.
Those days, we had an 85-foot radio telescope, a rather poor receiver, and we could monitor one radio channel at a time. Today, our systems are 100 trillion times more sensitive than in 1960. It's not wild speculation. We have the means to detect other worlds.
Drake began listening for signals near the frequency of 1420 megahertz. At that wavelength, the element hydrogen emits a steady hiss. Radio astronomers use it to measure the distance between stars. Drake and others believe any advanced alien civilization will know the importance of hydrogen to radio astronomy and may use its universal frequency to send out a calling card to other worlds. Astrophysicist Seth Shostak is the scientist in charge of public programs at the SETI Institute in California.
Radio is a very good way to send information around. I mean, the aliens are probably doing all sorts of stuff, but radio is cheap. In other words, for $1 a word's worth of electricity, you can send messages from one star system to the other. We can do that. We can do that. They can certainly do that.
Project Ozma ended without a peep from outer space. But it established Frank Drake as the godfather of SETI and encouraged others to join him in his quest for the holy grail of astronomy, proof that other societies populate the universe. The Cold War rivalry between the Soviet Union and the United States ignited a race between the two nations that sent astronauts and cosmonauts hurtling above and beyond the Earth. It also fueled new interest in alien life. After all, many reasoned, If we could take these first tentative steps into the cosmos, advanced civilizations might be able to accomplish even greater